Hello everyone, it's June from Artsy Lolico, and today I will show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to create a realistic, beautiful poppy here on Procreate using our very own custom-made brushes created by me. I crafted 16 brushes and 3 unique texture canvases that are going to be available on Etsy for you to purchase. This sketch is going to be available for free, including the color palettes. Both links are going to be down below. If you do find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on that notification so you don't miss a thing. So let's not waste time, grab your iPad and open up your Procreate, and let's get started. For this painting, I'll be using a rich, small canvas. To begin, I picked a rich red color in the beginning, and then go to your Layers tab, paint here, and use the wet on dry brush to begin with. Now, I will keep the size to around 40 to 50%, and it's important to keep the opacity to around 50% with this one. And the reason why we're doing the opacity that is reduced is that it will become more easier to use this brush with a water stained look with harder edges and more transparent colors in the inside of the brushes. Especially with flowers, we like to have a lot more transparency. And with that color, we're going to start painting the poppy. And you don't have to worry too much because the color palettes will be available and you can experiment with whatever color you like to see. Now these are just sketch guidelines, but you could make ridges or less ridges as you prefer. And just like this, you fill up the poppy all the way through with one color in the beginning. Now let's zoom in to get a little bit more details into the poppy. Now we're going to add some layers to this red that we already have to give more depth and value to this painting. So create a new layer and begin painting the outside of the poppy, just like this. And we're going to leave the middle part the way it is because I want the light reflection to be there, but the bottom part is going to be more of a petal that's coming towards us, so it's going to be a bit darker, and the edges are just basically the petals curving into the flower. And just like this, we're going to fill up the colors. The dark tones create a lot of depth, just like this. Since the bottom part of the petal is protruding towards me, there will be a lot more shadow underneath it, and that's the reason why it's darker than most of the poppy parts of it. Now we're going to create a new layer and fill out the bottom part, the darkest part of the poppy. And then we're going to add some fine line details. So create a new layer and we're going to pick the fine line brush over here. And from there, just increase the opacity to 100%. Find the color by pressing onto an area that is red, that is darker in the mid-tone. And from that color, we're going to paint just the corners, just like this. These corner edges that is going to give off a darker, fine look. It's going to give a little bit more depth and texture to the poppy. We're also going to put some more fine details in the middle to get a bit more texture as well within the petals. And we're also going to use another darker fine line brush color tone to give more depth of the inside of the poppy. Now before I move on, I want to add some more watercolor stain look. So we're going to pick a darker red tone and use the wet on dry brush with reduced opacity to around 35% and just color in the middle parts of the poppy to give that watercolor stain look. I'm going to increase the opacity to around 50% and add some more watercolor stain look at the bottom parts of the poppy as well. Now once that's done, we can create a new layer and work on the poppy seeds by choosing a black color, and we're going to use the fine line brush again and increase the opacity to 100% and reduce the size to around 10%. Now we're going to zoom in to get some more details and just begin by creating little circles just like this all across. And from there, we're going to add some lines from the circles back to the center where the seed is coming from. Now we're going to start painting the stem of the poppy, which is going to be green. So we're going to start with a wet on dry brush with a new layer with a dark green color. And we're going to increase the opacity to 100% and keep the size to around 40. And we're going to paint all the way down to the stem to the bottom. We're also going to paint the leaves of the poppy just like this. And take your time because it is pretty fine details with the corners just like this. Now to give more texture, we're going to add another layer and add a mid-tone, which is a bit darker from the color that we used. And just going to fill out the top just like this, where the shadows will be right underneath the poppy flower petals, stemming down just a bit, and also inside of the leaves to get more texture here as well. And then we're going to use another layer and add the darkest tone color of the green. And we're just going to fill out the similar areas, but a bit less, the top of the stem and near the leaves at the bottom. And now we're going to start blending the stem colors. So pinch the 3 layers that we had before and begin the blending process using a regular blender this time. Because it's a small area, I can't really use the moving blender. And just begin blending the colors just like this. And I like to press away from the dark tones to the lighter tones in the leaves area. And spread out the darker tones outwards. And there you have it. All you have to do now is go to your sketch layer tab and uncheck it, and no more sketch marks here. And all you have to do now is remove the washi tape by going to the washi tape layer and clicking on it and making sure that you pick a brush that is big enough to erase it, and then begin erasing it. And this time I used the oil brush, which is a default brush that comes with Procreate, and begin erasing to get that satisfying feeling of ripping off the washi tape. Now, if you want to add a little bit more splash, create a new layer from this layer tab from the paint here and pick a reddish tone color, and we're going to use the Epic Splash to give that splash effect and increase it to around size 27, and then just drop them just like this. And you can also add a little bit of green since we did add the stem, just like that. And there you have it. beautiful, realistic watercolor style poppy. And if you are enjoying these tutorials, please let me know in the comments section below. Like and follow this channel for more tutorials. And as always, have a wonderful day.